Welcome to Making the Case. This is Yodit Tewolde. I'm Yodit Tewolde. We start tonight with new developments in the case against former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. Chauvin is due to be sentenced for the murder of George Floyd in a few short weeks. The prosecution is seeking 30 years in prison. The defense, they're asking for probation and time served. And after a lackluster performance by Eric Nelson, his defense lawyer at his state trial, Chauvin now claims he can't afford to pay for his own attorney to fight the federal civil rights charges he's facing. Also, the city of Minneapolis has moved in to reopen the intersection, which for more than a year now has been a memorial to George Floyd. To discuss all of these developments coming out of Minneapolis is BNC's legal contributor and veteran prosecutor Paul Henderson. Paul, great to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Happy to be on.
All right, so just when I thought Chauvin's defense attorney, Eric Nelson, couldn't get any more ridiculous, he proves me wrong. Nelson is asking that Chauvin be sentenced to probation and time served for a murder conviction. Black folk get life sentences for nonviolent drug offenses. So how can they justify such an ask? Is the strategy to ask for something so unreasonable in hopes that the judge may get close to what the defense really wants?
That has to be the strategy. When I saw that argument and read that motion, I don't even know where to begin. I was so offended, it blew my wig back. And I don't wear wigs, but I was so offended in seeing the arguments and what he was saying, that Chauvin had acted in good faith, that that it was a training failure, and that this was not criminal behavior that Chauvin engaged in. It was an insult to George Floyd. It was an insult to the community. It was an insult to the court, to the trial, to the reform movement. It was an insult to accountability. It was offensive. And so that's his argument. It doesn't surprise me that he has doubled down from the kind of defense that we saw him put in for the trial. But it really, if I had to give you a word, it would just be offensive, is what the argument was. When the judge indicated by his ruling that he would be making a departure, I'm pretty sure he did not mean a departure down. And I'm certain that he did not mean that it would be a credit for time served sentence with no parole or probation. It's ludicrous. I'm offended by his argument. That's where I am, and I don't think I'm the only one.
At least he stays consistent, right? So given the defense's low, I guess, request in sentencing, the absolute minimum, should the prosecutor or prosecution have asked for the maximum 40 years? Where do you think the judge will come down?
I think the judge is likely to be on the upper end of what the maximum is. There's a number of factors I think are weighing heavily on this judge. One, this is a defendant that has not accepted responsibility in these arguments, that is doubling down on his innocence by making the arguments that he's making, that he wasn't engaged in a criminal act. I think he has to send a message to this defendant. I think he has to be aware and cognizant of the community's wishes. The victim impact statement is going to be through the roof in this one. And this is before we see the pretrial sentencing recommendation from probation and parole. I think it's going to be on the higher end of things, and not in the back of everyone else's mind, but certainly in front of this judge's as well, is the contemplation that the feds are still contemplating and filing their charges as well. So if this number isn't high enough, the feds are certainly going to be charging in to save the day with even bigger numbers that, by the way, will be able to stack upon whatever this state sentencing is going to be, because it's not double jeopardy.
Right.
And those sentences they can stack on top of each other and not run concurrent. So I'm looking at the higher end.
The judge has, so am I. Now, the judge has until the end of this week to rule on the defense's motion for a new trial based on, among other things, allegations of jury misconduct and the leaking of information that Chauvin would have taken a 10-year plea bargain. How do you anticipate the judge is going to rule?
I am almost certain that that motion is going to be denied. And again, I feel like the defense is just throwing anything out there just to go through the motions. I was actually surprised in his appeal motion that the things that he cited weren't actual things. They were theoretical things that could have influenced the jury or the decision making, rather than making a really cogent argument about the security and how that was a real effect on people inside the courtroom, because those were measurable things that actually did happen. He didn't even make that argument. And so to me, he's just going through the motions to lay a foundation to say he did whatever he had to do to get his money to put in this defense. And it is what it is. But I don't give the motion very much credence, and I don't think the court will either. I don't think it's going to be an impediment to either the sentencing or what the judge ultimately wants to do in terms of finding accountability for this officer in this situation.
Now, Paul, apparently Chauvin is broke. He can't afford now to pay for counsel in the federal criminal case against him. So the judge appointed Eric Nelson. So clearly Chauvin doesn't share people's views of Nelson's trial skills or lack thereof. What happened to the police union that funded his legal team? And considering the job Nelson did in his state case, is Chauvin up a creek now that he's got the same lawyer on his federal case?
Well, it depends on the lens that you use to evaluate the lawyering. Like, he chose him.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what the exact amount is, but it was a lot of money that was spent on this defense. All of those experts, as ludicrous and insulting as they were, there was a whole line of people that made a lot of money on this defense, presenting the ridiculous theories about what could have happened rather than what we all saw happen on that tape. And so now the continuation with this attorney for whatever charges may be faced at the federal level, instead of going with the federal public defender's office, is just where we are. That's just his decision. Mm-hmm. I will say, I think there's been some maneuvering on Chauvin's case beforehand, before this case all began. I mean, he filed for divorce. That's not something that was unexpected from me when the charges came about, because he got to split his pension and give it away to his then wife to try and preserve some of his money before it all went away, if there was a conviction, and certainly there was. And so I think there's been some gamesmanship on Chauvin's side, and I'm not surprised that he is now making this claim to try and get free legal representation, which is a continuation of what he had before.
All right, so now to news outside of the courtroom. Police have begun clearing away the George Floyd Memorial site without any advance notice to the community, and it was all done in the middle of the night. So some are upset, and rightfully so, and then there's some who think it's time to move on. What does this signify to you?
Well, it signifies to me, and this is something that we see frequently when there are memorials, right? You don't want to do them in front of a crowd when people are still there and sentiments run high. This is typical that when you have actions like this, that it come early in the morning or late at night, so it doesn't cause as much controversy as it could, and it's not reflective of the sentiment that the community has about whatever is being removed, destroyed, or transferred someplace else. My concern with this situation in particular is that we know that money has been pledged for this memorial, for this area to be preserved in a way, however the community decides, from the civil settlement. And the bigger issue is, what does the removal of this memorial mean in terms of the movement to address reform for this area? Not accountability. Remember, accountability is something separate. And the accountability that we have so far is just for Chauvin and for this individual act. We still don't even have full accountability for the other officers that have not been tried yet. And so to me, the message that we're getting from the community is the city is moving on, but if we're not seeing that backed up with specific and intentional reforms to address police accountability, that's a bigger issue than the secondary issue, which is what the city is going to do to make sure that they honor the memory from the community and for the community and of George Floyd. That's a secondary issue, and that money is still out there. So this issue is not going to go away. The community wants that money spent. The community wants a memorial, and this probably does not sit well with the folks that are there, and certainly doesn't reflect well for those that are watching this process take place.
All right, finally, Paul, news broke on the death of prominent trial lawyer F. Lee Bailey, who famously defended O.J. Simpson in what was the trial of the 20th century. Your thoughts, please.
My thoughts are, this is a real loss to the legal community, and F. Lee Bailey's contributions was groundbreaking not just for how he represented himself as a lawyer, but in representing OJ in the way that he did, in raising the issues of race in the way that were raised from that case. That's what made it groundbreaking. And for him to have played such a key role in that, I think is important. It'll be a loss to the legal community. And I'm hoping that the memory of what he did will live on as the case lives on. But he was an outstanding trial lawyer, and that's really impressive to me. You know, to me, that's the highest form of lawyering. You get a good trial lawyer in there that can speak well and perform, you got me. I'm a fan of his work. I'm proud of what he did and inspired me as a trial lawyer, and so he will be missed, but his legacy lives on.
All right, Paul, as always, thanks for the insightful conversation. See you later, my friend.
Thanks for having me. It's good seeing you.